Hey everyone, welcome to the weekly PlayStation News Update, where I discuss all the most interesting topics related to Sony's consoles. Since we have a lot of news this week, let's not waste any time. According to the latest reports, Sony made around $600 million from PCs in the 2023 fiscal year, even though they didn't release any major games, and most of their releases were ports of older games from the past 3 years. If you thought Sony wasn't making money from PCs and would stop releasing their exclusives on PCs, that's not the case. We expect more PC ports and exclusives to be released simultaneously on PS5 and PC. Analysts say that the PS5 is selling 5 times better than both of the latest Xbox consoles, and this gap is only widening, which is not surprising given the recent news that Xbox is porting its games to PlayStation. This situation shows that exclusives are essential, and completely abandoning exclusive content doesn't lead to good outcomes, especially for Xbox. Other big gaming insiders have confirmed information about Sony's new portable console, including details about the PS5 Pro specs. This proves that Sony's equivalent to the Steam Deck is indeed in development, and in a year or two we might see a new portable console from Sony capable of running PS4 level games with decent technical specs. PlayStation executives have stated that graphics in games will soon take a back seat, and quality narrative will become the main criterion for evaluation. Simply put, PlayStation doesn't consider gameplay the most important aspect of video games, and will further transform their games into interactive movies. Sony is also working on a mobile PlayStation platform and plans to expand into the mobile market, including creating its own store and creating numerous free-to-play games. A recent PS5 update messed up the accurate game time display, so users can no longer see how many hours they've spent on each game. It's not a huge issue, but until it's fixed, you won't be able to brag about your game stats to your friends. Sony is working on backward compatibility with PlayStation 3 and developing its own PS3 emulator. However, it's too early to celebrate as the development is in its initial stages, and we won't see results until the next generation of consoles, meaning the PS6. According to insiders, the PlayStation Showcase is set for May 28th, where Sony will reveal new games and possibly showcase the PlayStation 5 Pro. At the same time, the International PlayStation Sale event, Days of Play, is planned to offer significant discounts on Sony games and consoles. Activision has officially announced the new Call of Duty, Black Ops 6, which will focus on the Gulf War, and is set to release this fall. The game will be developed on the old game engine, indicating a possible release on PlayStation 4. Hideo Kojima has stated that work on Death Stranding 2 on the Beach is nearly complete, with just the final touches and assembly remaining. However, the game is expected to be released in the spring of 2025. Reputable insider Midori claims that Square Enix is working on a Final Fantasy IX remake. Following the release of the third part of the Final Fantasy VII remake, we can expect a similar situation with the ninth installment. As expected from Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed Shadows will be another game divided into DLCs, with several missions available only to Premium Edition owners. Despite criticism and controversies, the PC port of Ghost of Tsushima has been highly successful, ranking as the second most successful Sony release on Steam. Hidetaka Miyazaki promises that the DLC for Elden Ring, titled Shadow of the Erdtree, will be the most extensive and detailed expansion of his work, taking at least 20 hours to complete. The DLC is set to release on June 21st. On August 15th, Hunt Showdown will transition to a new engine and will no longer be playable on PlayStation 4. Neil Druckmann promises that his next project will completely redefine the perception of video games and set a new benchmark for the industry for years to come. Helldivers 2 has lost much of its player base, making it difficult for the community to complete global missions, which is unsurprising given the lack of new content. Stellar Blade has become so successful that a sequel and a PC port are already in the works. Development will begin right after the PS5 version is finalized. Recently, the game received an update with new costumes for Eva, and a new mode where players can battle all the bosses from the original game. The new Astro Bot game will be a full-fledged major release for PlayStation 5 rather than a niche VR project. It seems we'll have to wait a while for the fourth Witcher and second Cyberpunk, as CD Projekt RED is focused on developing a new IP in its original universe. Renowned insider Tom Henderson has stated that this summer we'll see a new installment of Doom titled The Dark Age, which will be multi-platform and will be released on PlayStation 5. The CEO of Take-Two has expressed a desire to sell GTA 6 for $100 or more, but the game will be priced at the standard $70 upon release. Recent details have emerged about the remake of the first Resident Evil, featuring a third-person camera and a rewritten storyline to modern standards. The Silent Hill 2 page on Steam has received over 20 updates in the last week, hinting at an imminent release date announcement and a new trailer reveal. Now let's move on to PS Plus discounts and updates. Firstly, the new free game X Defiant, a dynamic shooter from Ubisoft parodying Call of Duty multiplayer, is available on the PS Store and worth checking out. Secondly, from May 30th to June 6th, Skull and Bones will be free to play, allowing players to experience naval battles with progress carrying over to the full version, and online play will be accessible without requiring a PS Plus subscription. Thirdly, a new demo for Inotria, The Last Song, a classic Souls-like game about knights, is available on the PS Store, offering 8 hours of gameplay for players to form their opinions. Fourthly, an updated version of Multiversus, a cartoonish fighting game featuring Warner Bros. Characters, will be released on May 28th for PS5, allowing Arya Stark and characters from children's cartoons to battle on the same screen. Moving on to PS Plus subscription updates, you can download Red Dead Redemption 2, DCF Incorporated, Cat Quest, and several other good games if you have the appropriate PS Plus tier. It's also been announced that the first Red Dead Redemption will join PS Plus next month, likely in the deluxe tier, as it's quite an old game and fits the definition of a classic. Lastly, it's unfortunate news that around 12 games, including GTA 5, MotoGP 23, and several other exciting titles, will be removed from the PS Plus Extra subscription on June 18th. You can see the complete list of departing games on your screen, so if you want to play anything from that list, I wouldn't advise waiting. And that's all from me. I hope the news was interesting and helpful for you. Write in the comments what you think about all of this. See you in the next episodes, and have a great weekend.